Maya and Ethan had been together for 7 years, and they were only a few months away from their wedding day. Their relationship had always been the perfect blend of comfort, understanding, and passion. Everyone who knew them believed that they were destined for a lifetime of happiness. They were the couple who shared their dreams, their insecurities, and their hopes for the future. But as the wedding date drew near, Ethan began to act distant. It was subtle at first, the late nights at work, the sudden need for personal space, and the quiet avoidance of Maya's attempts to talk about the upcoming wedding. Maya, ever the optimist, brushed it off. After all, planning a wedding was stressful. Surely, Ethan was just feeling the weight of everything. Then, one rainy evening, Maya arrived at their shared apartment early from a work event. She expected to find Ethan on the couch, playing video games or reading one of his favorite books, as he always did. Instead, she found him sitting on the balcony, his phone in hand, texting someone with a smile that didn't seem to belong to her. It hit her. Something wasn't right. The heavy weight of doubt grew inside her chest, but she couldn't bring herself to confront him immediately. Instead, she watched him for a while, his laughter echoing softly from the phone speaker. There was an unease in her that she couldn't shake off. That night, after Ethan went to bed, Maya found herself unable to sleep. She rummaged through her thoughts and felt a deep pang of betrayal. Was he cheating on her? Was this how their perfect relationship would end? She found herself staring at her phone, debating whether or not to look at his messages. But instead of snooping, she found courage in something else, self-respect. Maya realized that whatever was going on, she deserved to know the truth. The next morning, with the sun rising quietly in the distance, Maya made the painful decision to confront Ethan. She asked him about the phone call on the late nights. She kept her voice calm, steady, trying to hold back the emotion that threatened to spill over. Ethan's face immediately drained of color. He stammered, then slowly admitted it. He'd met someone from work. The connection was undeniable, and he'd been struggling with his feelings, not knowing how to let go of the relationship he had with Maya. He confessed to spending nights texting and thinking about this other person, but had never physically cheated. Still, it cut Maya deeply. The emotional betrayal felt as heavy as anything physical could have been. But instead of reacting in anger, Maya took a deep breath. She asked Ethan to leave, giving him space to reflect. Alone in her room, she sobbed. For days, she felt numb, lost in a sea of confusion. How could this happen? What had gone wrong? But Maya knew one thing: she wasn't going to let this define her. With time, she realized that the love she had for Ethan had not been in vain, but rather part of her personal growth. She spent months focusing on herself, reconnecting with old friends, picking up hobbies she had left behind, and rediscovering the parts of herself that she had ignored in the chaos of planning a wedding and a future. During this time, Ethan reached out, repeatedly apologizing and expressing his regret. He acknowledged his mistake, asking if there was any chance of repairing their relationship. He spoke of the deep regret he felt and how he realized that Maya's love was irreplaceable. But Maya had changed. She wasn't the woman who would cling to a broken promise anymore. She had learned that her worth wasn't defined by anyone else's actions. Maya took her time, but after much soul-searching, she decided to give Ethan a chance, not for the wedding, not for anyone else, but because she felt he had genuinely changed. They began rebuilding their relationship, not from a place of dependence but as two people who understood the importance of individual growth. Their journey was slow and challenging, but through open communication, vulnerability, and a shared desire for a stronger future, they found their way back to each other. Years later, they stood at the altar, not as the couple they were before, but as two people who had fought for each other, and most importantly, for themselves. The wedding wasn't just the start of a new chapter, it was a symbol of their renewed love, built on trust, understanding, and the wisdom that comes from facing heartache and emerging stronger. True love isn't perfect, but it can be real and redemptive. Maya's ability to face the truth, to hold herself accountable, and to make decisions for her well-being, regardless of how much it hurt, allowed her to become a better partner. Ethan, in turn, grew through his mistakes and became someone worthy of the second chance Maya offered. And in the end, their love was even more beautiful than before.